Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me in one of my, might be a slightly somewhat disgruntled monologue today. I was going to make a video in which I was going to call out to fellow YouTubers that, you know, people on this spectrum, that sounds dodgy, doesn't it? People on the same sort of side that I am, that I talk about, the subjects that I talk about. And there's many of them, there's lovely, you know, all lovely people. And I was going to call out to them to say, can you please stop making videos that scare people? You know, the sort of, oh, crikey, look what's happened over there, or this is really worrying, or this is scary, or oh my God, what's just happened? Or all of that sort of stuff. Because why do we want to put people into fear? And if you scroll on YouTube, if you're in this sort of domain and you've seen my videos and then other like people will turn up and you'll see them all doing exactly the same, you know, explosions here or aliens coming down here or people dying over there or, you know, spotty faces where some injection has gone a little bit mad or policemen coming along, people being all of this stuff, all of it. Bailiffs banging at the door, doctors, you know, throttling patients, whatever it might be. And it gives a very fearful world. Well, I was going to do that, and of course I'm talking about it as if that's what I'm requesting, but of course it came to my mind that all these lovely YouTubers who are making all of these videos, they all need to make a living. They all need to make a living, and so they're all, you know, they've got adverts on them or whatever. I don't have adverts on mine, as you know, I've been demonetized, and thank you very much to all those wonderful people who've sent a shekel or two just to keep the channel going, which is, you know, very tricky at the moment, but let's not dwell on that. You don't care about my situation. But what I do care about is why people want to be scared, because it dawned on me that market forces, people are making these videos because they know that if you put a scary thumbnail on and you talk about the worrying things in the world and you scare people rigid and you say, yes, the next pandemic is coming over the horizon, or these people, the police are going to kick your door down, or if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. That's where people start, oh my God, they have to watch. And we've all become incredibly addicted to these wretched phones, to the wretched YouTube, to the wretched videos and all this sort of interaction. We're not actually out there in nature. We're not actually out there creating a beautiful universe for us. All we're doing is continuing to have this dreadful situation that we're going. We're manifesting more of the worries, the troubles and the complaints is what we're doing, because we don't have any joy in us, because we're so in fear of, oh my God, I've got to watch that one. Oh my goodness, and he's moaning about this and she's moaning about that and this is about to happen. I watched a video about 2 years ago of somebody who said, you better get all the money out of the bank because the intel is the banks are going to be shut down as of the weekend. You've got 2 days, go and get your money out of the bank. And I thought to myself, blimey, that's a message, isn't it? That's a bit irresponsible to tell people. And it was just an email from somebody, Intel, he called it. And I thought to myself, well, actually, what he was saying is, what I did was the complete reverse of that. I actually opened another bank account. I took some money from one bank and I put it into another bank. So at least if one bank went down, maybe the other bank would survive. So I did the actual opposite of and sometimes I do feel that that's what we need to do. These people are sort of going, ah, well, you know, instead of being in fear, I think we need to be much more putting out positive messages, positive things, the vision of what we want, not what we don't want. I keep telling people, but nobody listens, nobody wants to know. And maybe that is the case. Are you somebody who just wants to be scared and that you know, you're so frightened that you continually have to consult somebody else for the news? And this is where it comes back really once again to taking back responsibility for our lives, that if we are responsible for our own happiness, if we're responsible for our own lives, you come to a point where you don't need to rely on all these other idiots out there who are trying to take your money, that you are responsible. If you're responsible for your health, for example, the last place you really want to be going to is the NHS, because that is public enemy number one, isn't it? let's face it, what they've been doing to people and all the medications they put people on. And people are sitting there at home. You're probably sitting there yourself at home with 22,578 different pots of pills going, oh, I must take this one, I must take this one and this one. And each pill is really just activating against the side effects of the previous pill. You know, I mean, my sister is a nurse. I think I've told you about this. And she'll go round her rounds in the hospital where she works, and there's all these people, and she'll do the drug run. You know, she's a drug dealer. She literally is a drug dealer. And she'll go in and there'll be some little old dear sitting there with about 8 pills. And she'll say to this woman as she's taking the pills, what's that one for? Oh, I don't know, dear. You don't know? No, dear. How long have you been taking it? I don't know, dear. Probably about 5 years. You're taking it and you don't even know what it is. I mean, that is ridiculous. There's so many people out there, they've been told by their GP they've got to take this and they've got to take that, and they've no idea. Do you remember lining up? Were you one of those people that lined up, you know, when there was a big mass media campaign to persuade everybody to take a certain drug and have it injected into your arm? Were you one of those? And did you actually ask? Did you say, excuse me, what's in it? How long has it been tested? Have you tried it? How long have you tried it? What's it do for pregnant women? What will it do in 10 years' time? Is there any nanoparticles in it? Is there any graphene? Is there any snake venom? Is there anything nasty in it? How is it possible that at the speed of science you've come up with a solution for a problem that we never really had? Something that was never actually isolated in the first place? Did you ask that? No, because people didn't. They just went, the government said, do this, and went, oh yeah, we'll do it. And it's the same with these scary videos. You know, people are just being programmed in all of this stuff to do the things that they're being told to do. We need to start resisting all of this nonsense and be independent again, in my humble opinion. You may totally disagree. You may say, Richard, you are just on your soapbox calling out a load of old rubbish, and your life is your life. But how many times have I gone to these talk places where people gather and they listen to all these truthers, and I say, are you interested in your health? Oh, yes, yes. Did you take it? Oh, no, we didn't take the jab. No, no, we didn't take that. Do you look after it? Oh, yes, we definitely look after ourselves. I said, do you go to supermarkets? Yes. Oh, you go to supermarkets, you don't go to farm shops. I mean, we have this farming crisis in which we're trying to help farmers understand that people would like them to grow chemical-free food. We would like to have nutrient food and vitamin food, not the vitamin deficient and the nutrient-free food from the supermarkets that's been industrially produced and filled with flavourings and colourings and preservatives and monosutaglutamate, whatever the wretched stuff is, and all this sort of stuff. And yet people still go to the supermarket. And in the end, you just go, do you know what? You deserve what you get. There's just comes a point where you just think, that's it. And in a way, I suppose this is why Julia and I, and many others, feel we just want to get off-grid, away from all these idiots, away in our own domain, in our own realm, in our own little world, and just say, do you know what? If you want to live like that, and live in the world of petrochemicals, of being bossed about, living in fear, watching fearful programs, being programmed, then you do it. But there are an increasing number of people who certainly don't. And so I don't know where I'm going really with this monologue, but as you can see, slightly disgruntled that people who say they want freedom actually still want feardom. And that is a sad situation. And until we can open our minds and start projecting this and talk about what we want, the desirable lifestyle, the things that actually matter rather than things that don't, we'll just continually be in the spiral of depression, of fear, of fate, instead of actually creating something beautiful and heavenly. There we are. That's my thing. And you notice it was a pipe-free production. I shall now go and snort my pipe and enjoy my life. Take care. Look after yourselves. See you, possibly, unless you're very frightened, on the next one.